Hello good people, welcome to my YouTube channel once again. If you're new here, you are welcome. You're welcome to follow me. I promise you one thing about my content is that you will always learn something in each video. I know that in a previous video I did tell you the different things that will influence your writing style. Today I would like to tell you about 4 people that can actually influence the way you write, your writing style, at the speed of your writing, the format of your writing, the genre of your writing. These 4 people will really influence how you become as a writer. So here we go. The kind of environment your parent brings you up in, the kind of exposure they give you has a lot to do with the kind of writer you become. Because usually most writers write from a place of imagination, a place of experience, a place, something. There has to be something that triggers their writing apart from their creativity, and these things are usually influenced a lot in childhood by the kind of upbringing a parent gives their child. So yes, a parent does influence the kind of writer that you become. You can't change your parent, and you can't change the way you've been raised and the experiences you've had. But guess what? You can decide the kind of parent you become, and you can decide the kind of exposures that you give your child so that they become a specific kind of writer, or so that they love writing or they love reading, which of course will interpret to being a better writer. Believe it or not, the way you relate to your spouse really does influence the experiences you've had, your mental state, how you grow as a person, and how you grow as a person really does interpret to the kind of writing that you do if you love to write. Also, a spouse can encourage your habit or can discourage your habit. So they usually say that the kind of spouse you choose does also influence the kind of profession you're in. It really is true. So the kind of spouse you have will either encourage your writing skill or discourage it. And coming from an African setup, we do know that writing is not something that has really been encouraged. It's not even seen as a form of income. So getting a spouse who really can relate with your passion of writing is really important, because then they will encourage you and give you a safe environment for you to be creative, for you to be able to even develop a script. A story is told about a nursery school teacher who used to call Omo the detergent Homo. So just from the pronunciation, a child grew up understanding that Omo the detergent is actually pronounced as Homo, and it is spelled as Homo. So be very keen with the kind of teacher that you have. They really do influence the kind of writer you become. For me, I can see the influence that my English teachers have had from primary school to secondary school to university. I did do English in all levels, and I do realize and notice the influence that my teachers had on my writing. They were among the most strict teachers I came across, and they really did encourage me. They did encourage my creativity. They did encourage me to be more keen on spelling. They did correct me where they had to. I notice now as an adult that throughout my years, I did have a wonderful relationship with my English teachers, and it really has interpreted to the kind of author that I've become. So yes, your teacher can also influence the kind of writer or your writing style or the genre that you choose to write, depending on the experiences they give you. So for me, those experiences were great, and yes, the teacher does influence your writing style. There's an English proverb that says that show me your friends, I'll tell you the kind of person that you are. I did realize that I have friends in my circles who do not love to read. Come what may, you will never see them touch a book to read. But also in my circle, I have friends who are wonderful readers, who encourage me to read, and who even point out the mistakes I make on my blog. I do have a blog which I usually update every so often, and my friends usually take their time to correct me and tell me, hey, your spelling was wrong, the way you tried to bring out these points did not make sense. So I do notice the influence that they have on me just by the way they speak to me, the way, the expectations they have of me, the kind of corrections they make of my writing style. It really does influence. And again, I also noticed that some things about my writing, about my career as a writer, I do know the friends that I can talk to about these things, because I also have a group of friends who will be just like, no, don't tell us anything about a book, and you know they don't like reading. If you ask them anything about books, they have no idea. So it's important that you have the right friends, because the right friends will either make you or break you as an author. I've been a blogger since 2014, and for a long time I had been stagnating until recently, when I opened myself up to network with other bloggers, to network with other authors, to exchange ideas. And I did realize that these new people that I'm meeting that have similar interests to me are likely to tell me things that people who do not have similar interests to me can tell me. So they do point out things that no one else has ever pointed out to me, including in my book, on my social networks. I have met people, and in my writing, strangers have told me things about my book. I have created relationships with these strangers just because we have similar interests. So I do notice and I do appreciate that even your networks, your colleagues, and people who have similar interests to you can really influence the kind of writing that you do, and they can also give you pointers on whether they feel the genre that you choose to write in, if it suits you, or if it really does look like a stranger did write a specific script, whether a blog, whether a book. So those are the 4 people that I found have really influenced the kind of person that I am. And I know that even for other people, it really does influence the kind of people, of the kind of author or the kind of writer that you become. So if you have any other person who you think does influence the kind of writer that you become, please write it down in the comment section below. I would like to know, and I'd like to see if those people have also influenced the kind of writer that I've become, or the kind of author that I've become. I'd like to know in the comment section below. Let me know. Also, please follow me. I promise you that in each of my videos you will always learn something new. So do follow me. Leave a like if you do like my content, and you also, if you do not like my content, I encourage you to speak out so that I may learn from you as well. Leave a comment. Let us interact and let us be friends. Until my next video, goodbye.